Hi, I'm John. I'm the warehouse manager. This video is going to be the proper assembly and operation of our Hobart conveyor dish machine. This is the primary dish machine we use for everything that comes back from parties. So, first thing you need to do is you need to assemble the dish machine. You need to put all of the catch grates into the machine. All right? This first chamber is our pre-rinse chamber. It has 3 parts. The catch grates here are flat. They have a lip and 2 up prongs. The up prongs go up, placed in with the lip facing down. Slide it in. The second catch grate, same thing. You put it in place. Then you have your catch basket. Your catch basket goes in. The whole point of the lip on the other catch grates is to hold that catch basket up so it doesn't fall in. There are lips all the way around so that it sits with the rim on those lips. So that's completely in place. The next section is our wash section. It has 4 catch grates. They have handles in the center. They have an upright back and sides, and they have a lip on the front. The center chamber of the dish machine has a flat platform section, a basin for the water with a heating element in it, and a lip on the back to hold the back of the catch grate. So it goes in with the lip facing the front. And they go in tight. Now, I'm only going to put 3 cages in place at the moment because there's a heating element at the bottom of this basin that I need to be able to see. And we'll get back to that in a moment. And the third chamber is our final rinse chamber. That has 4 catch grates as well, and they go in the same way that the catch grates go in on the middle chamber. And again, I'm only putting 3 of the cages in because I need to be able to see the heating element on the bottom. The final cage I'll rest on top of the wash baffles in the center. And that's the same for the center chamber. Now that you have your catch basins in, your catch cages in, you can start to prepare to fill the machine. To fill the machine, you have to close all of the dump valves. You shift them from the open position to the shut position. So you move them from left to right if you're facing the machine. There are 3 dump valves that you have to move. One underneath the final rinse basin, one underneath of the wash basin, and there's one on the front of the pre-rinse basin. They're all closed now. They're all in the shut position. So to fill the machine, you start by moving the red levers, there are 2 of them, to the open position. They're ball cock valves. There's one underneath of the heating power switch in the front behind this door. That you move to the 8 o'clock position. You think of it as a clock, 12 o'clock at the top, 8 o'clock down towards the lower left-hand corner. There's a second red ball cock valve here underneath of the secondary heating element. That you move completely down to the 6 o'clock position and it's wide open. Now the reason we only open the front valve to 8 o'clock is because there's an opening that if it's open past that, water will spray out and soak the electrical unit, and that's never a good thing. Electricity and water don't match. So, in order to know that you're able to turn the heating elements on, you have to watch the water levels in the basins. The final rinse basin will fill up much faster because the ball cock valve is open much wider. When the heating element is completely submerged underwater, you can flip this switch to the on position, at which point this red light will light up and you'll know you have heat running. That will heat your water from the 140 degrees that it is initially on entry to 180 degrees. At the same time as turning that heating element on, you turn on the heat to your final rinse hot water booster. That is for the final rinse. It gets it to 190 degrees and it sanitizes the plates, dishes, glasses, and silverware completely upon exiting the machine. So, now that you've turned the heating element on for your final rinse basin, you can put that final catch grate in place and you can close this door. Now, there are two fill valves, as I told you. We have 3 chambers. I have a fill valve for the final rinse. I have a fill valve for the wash chamber. I do not have a fill valve for the pre-rinse chamber. What happens is when the final rinse chamber fills and the wash chamber fills, they have an overflow spill that dumps from these 2 basins into your pre-wash basin. So there's never going to be a fill there. It's going to have to overflow from these 2 chambers and in. You don't need to watch your water level in the final rinse basin because it fills up faster. So you'll know that when your pre-wash basin is full, your final rinse basin is full as well. So this is an inside image of the wash basin. As you saw, the water was covering the heating element inside. So it's now safe to turn the heating element electrical unit on for this basin. That's the switch here behind the door. It says heat on off. You want to switch it to the on position, which will give you the red light so you know that it's on. You can then close this door and put your catch grate in so that you have the catch grate in place. This door you'll want to leave open. This door you can close. To close it, you lift up and there's a swinging catch. Push the catch back, you bring it down slowly. Don't drop it hard. We don't want to break the door. And we'll wait a few minutes for the machine to finish filling and we'll pick up from there. All right, so now the machine is full. You can see the water level is up to the platform and the lip in the background. I'll make sure that the cage is in place and it's ready to run. So we'll close this final door and then you have to pay close attention to your temperature gauges. You have 3 temperature gauges, one for the wash, one for the rinse, and one for the final rinse. So this front gauge is for your pre-wash basin. It has to get to 140, between 140 and 160 degrees. There's a green section on the thermostat that'll tell you when it's ready. The needle will rise. The same with your secondary or your wash basin. That has to get to 140, between 140 and 160 as well. Your final rinse basin will not register a temperature until a glass rack runs through the machine. There's a paddle switch in the back that the glass rack will push over and it will initiate the final rinse, which comes out of the Rayburn machine and throws 180 to 190 degree water on the dishware as they're coming through to final sanitize. That gauge will not move until the final rinse is initiated. Now we have to wait about 15 minutes for the temperature gauges to read proper before we can show you the operation procedure of the machine. Okay, so we've waited enough time to get the temperature gauges up. If you look, the pre-wash gauge is now at 160 degrees, the wash gauge is at 150 degrees, and the final rinse gauge is up to 150 degrees. Now the final rinse, as I said, when the machine runs and the final rinse is pushed, it'll jump up to between 180 and 190 degrees. And Jennifer is going to run a set of silverware through to show you the process. So she comes over, okay, starts the machine by flipping the switch, easily pushes the rack into the system, and then it just flows through. It's a conveyor belt system. So as you see, the dish rack must be passing through the final rinse chamber because the thermometer has jumped up to above 180 degrees, which means it's sanitizing the silverware as it comes through. Silverware is coming out of the back of the machine now, and Jennifer will take it off when it pushes all the way out, shake it out so that all the excess water comes off. And that's the end of the dishwashing process.